Guys, what's happening? I got a special guest today. I got my man Mastin Kipp. Mastin, what's happening, brother?
What's up, you guys?
Hey, good to have you. Just had a chance to be on Mastin's podcast. You got to check that out. Power and Purpose is the name of his podcast. And we're talking about purpose. And I love the word purpose. You guys know my whole thing is passion, purpose, impact. Well, when you talk about power and purpose, you told me about your purpose, and I was like, we got to get you on a dose here, and you got to talk about purpose. So check out my man, Mastin, what he has to say. Talk about your purpose.
So my deepest purpose is to end trauma in my lifetime. So that's a moonshot idea. It's an idea that's so big that it might not happen, but it's what you shoot for. And there's these other moonshot ideas, putting an end to cancer or whatever it might be. And for me, I want to put an end to trauma because my deepest belief is that when you heal the trauma, you don't pass it down.
Yep.
And I think I work with a lot of people, victims of different types of abuse, and when you really get down to why did that happen, it's because somebody else was traumatized. Doesn't justify why it happened to them. It doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean like, okay, everything's fine, it shouldn't be illegal, or it shouldn't be unjust. But we can understand the mechanism. And when you can understand the mechanism, we're not defending what happened, we're explaining it. And when you can explain it, and you can then all of a sudden stop it. And so that's been my biggest aha in my career, which is, hurt people essentially hurt people. So if you do a sort of a global pattern interrupt on those patterns, then that's how you put it into trauma, and everything can shift.
How do you do that now? How do you work with people?
So my skill set, I have there's things I'm not very good at, which is most things. What I'm really good at is intervention, which is like getting down to like what is the root cause that's keeping somebody stuck from moving forward. And it's usually something that happened before the age of 10, and it was a meaning in an experience or a series of experiences they went through that they made something mean about themselves. And so when you can see the gift in it as well, it doesn't make right what happened, but you can understand that it wasn't all bad. And on top of that, if you're not moving forward and you've been hurt by somebody in the past, the understanding that that person's still winning because you're not moving forward is extreme leverage for someone who's been through any type of traumatic experience.
Yeah.
And then they realize that like, hey, if I don't fix this, I'm gonna pass this down to my kids on some level. And so what I do is help get down to that root cause, really harvest the gift, and then put a pattern interrupt in that. And I think with digital technology and the way that we're moving, we'll be able to scale that beyond just me as a human being.
So tell me, like right now, in a world that's full of trauma, like every day you wake up and there's some event that happened or you talk to someone, do you wake up and you feel defeated? Or do you wake up and you're kind of like, man, my purpose got deeper. I got a world to inspire.
That's a great question. Every time there's a big event, whether it's a terrorist attack or the election was extremely polarizing for both sides, and any side, you could have a husband and a wife, both are wrong and both are right. At the same time, right? Yeah. So that's what's true in any situation. I get jazzed because for me it's a time to double down and to go deeper, I feel called. I don't feel like, oh my God, the world is so bad. It's like, no, now I have a purpose. And for me, even with the results of the election, beyond politics, to see how divided the country is breaks my heart. But it also makes me go, I gotta get to work.
That's right.
And from it's so not a political issue. There's deep trauma on all sides of the spectrum, and what people really want, whether they're Republican, Democrat, African American, white, Hispanic, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, they want to feel significant and seen. Amen. And they want to feel like they're enough and that people can identify with their pain. And when you have two sides that are in extreme polarized pain, both asking to be recognized for their pain, you just get this infinite feedback loop. So you got to install pattern interrupts to kind of put a pause on that. And it just takes one person at a time. So that's really been my mission, is to really get to the root cause and heal that process. And I have ideas about how that can scale beyond me with the way technology is going. But for right now, it's in courses and books and stuff like that. But getting down to what's really real, you can start to see your own humanity. And regardless of the label with somebody else, you can see their humanity. And beyond connecting beyond religion and politics, if you can connect on that human level, then that's how you heal stuff.
Mastin, if this is speaking to someone today, how can someone find out more about you, your works, where you're doing all this?
That's really kind. Thanks, Todd. Just Mastin Kipp, Mastin Kipp, KIPP.com. It's all there.
There you go, Mastin Kipp. It's been an honor to be on his podcast. So you got to check it, take a listen to that right there. And you think about your life's purpose. You hear Mastin talk about end trauma. I mean, you talk about the Moonshot. But like when you wake up and you believe that, here's the guy that's impacting millions of people to be better in their life. And when you can align your passion, your purpose, and your impact and do these things, it's guys like this, it's people like you, when you wake up and you know you have a deeper calling, that you can make great things happen. So as always, thanks for what you do. Make sure you continue to train hard, eat right, and live inspired. Take care, peace, and God bless.